Let's check it out. Dot's still on. Let me go ahead around the chamber. Check it out. Yeah. Pretty scraped up here. Whoa. Let's get the mag out of it. But it's gonna work. Dot's still on. Seems to be tight. Not bad. So I'm gonna put on some eyes and ears, get some ammo in this thing. We'll get it on some steel. Hopefully everything's good to go. I checked everything out, everything looks okay. It's gonna be safe to fire the weapon. You can see through the optic, no problem. Red dot's visible, so everything should go okay. Here we go, going hot. All right. Bringing it up, you can see the dot is still on. Now we're going to get some shots on target. Stick the top of the gun down, make sure the optic is completely buried. And I'm going to bring it up, show you that the red dot is still on. You can see through the optic, and I'll engage that third piece of steel. So here we are. Yep, no problem. You can see it right through there. A little bit of dust on the outside lenses, but no big deal. You can still see it. Now, I'm going to come up on target. This is a test of the optic, not necessarily the pistol, so I'm just really putting the top of the pistol in to make sure that the Aimpoint ACRO P1 is completely submerged in the mud. All right, and I'm going to bring it back up on target. Got plenty of mud in play here. Let me get off some mud so I can see through the optic. Okay, there's the red dot. All right, now I'm up on target. I'm trying to get some hits. And the next test we're going to do here, we're going to talk about how this thing is attached to the slide. Now, one of the big advantages that the ACRO P1 has is not only is it a fully enclosed optic, which means the emitter is enclosed and water, sand, mud, and whatnot is not going to affect your ability to see that dot, but also the way it attaches to the slide. It attaches to the slide with a dovetail mount. All right, it also has a recoil lug, so it grabs the slide very securely. You actually need to be more concerned about how your mounting plate is attached to the slide versus the ACRO P1. This is a huge advantage for this optic. Another one is the fact that the front, it has a protective lens. That is not the front lens that the dot is shown on. This is a protective lens that protects the front of the optic, so even if it gets cracked, you'll still be able to see the red dot and make the shot. Now, I'm fixing to light this thing up for you and show you I can still get hits on target. All right, ACRO P1, hits are on target, good to go. Didn't lose zero, no issues at all. Why is this important, especially in law enforcement and military? In case you lose the use of one hand, you need to be able to pick your pistol up, rack it against something firm, and get back on target. You need to know that your optic is not going to come loose, and the ACRO P1 solidly bolted your slide is going to retain its zero. ACRO P1 passed with flying colors, on to the next. Here we go. Stand by. go. In the chamber, coming up on steel. Let's see how it goes. All right. On target. Stand by. So, the dot's still on, glass is still intact. Time to get some hits on target. All right, good to go. Good hits on target. The front protective lens is cracked, but the actual front lens that the dot reflects off of that you see when you look through the rear of the optic is still good to go. Good hits. Time to go hot. All right, going hot. Excellent. All right, so that's where the charge went off. This guy was anchored here. And let me see, pistol's still in the holster, but the fishing line is broke. Bring it out. All right, made sure the weapon was empty. No mag, no ammo in the mag, empty chamber. All right, so obviously the ACRO P1 is in fantastic condition. Dot's still on. Other than a little bit of dirt on the outside, you can't even tell it's been through any kind of explosion. So in the military, we say P for plenty. So we're gonna bump the charge up dramatically. I say off the top of my head, triple it, and then we'll see how it goes. So we're gonna reset this, we'll triple the charge, set it off again, and then see how things go. All right, here we go. Going hot. Going hot! That did the trick. P for plenty, baby. Okay, there's our P for plenty crater, and you can see it did a number on the mannequin. And here's the pistola. Okay, so here we go. All right. Aimpoint ACRO P1 is still on and still in great shape after being blown up twice. Excellent. Now it's time to take this thing back up range and get some hits on steel and wrap this up. All right, gang, first thing I want to do is make sure this thing held zero. So, my ears here. All right, center piece of steel. Good to go. The Aimpoint ACRO P1 is purpose built to be mounted on a handgun slide. It's the first optic that Aimpoint has ever made that's specifically made to be used on a handgun. I bring this up because they put this thing through years of testing to make sure it would take the shock and vibration involved when you mount an optic like this on the reciprocating slide of a handgun. Don't want to gloss that over, super important. That's all I got today. We'll see you next time right back out here. LAV out.